Welcome. In this video, we're going to look at setting up the integration between Pivotal Tracker and Bitbucket. I'm currently in a Pivotal Tracker project, and I'm going to click on More to go into some of my project settings. And from there, I'm going to click on Integrations. Currently have a GitHub integration set up, but I don't have one yet for Bitbucket. So let's add that integration. So I'm going to click on Add an Integration. And from the list that appears, I'm going to select Bitbucket. From here, Tracker is going to give me a name of the integration already populated, but we could change that name if we liked. And then it's also going to populate with the name of the project that we were in when we went into integrations. But we could add additional projects and delete that project and add a different one if we wished. But again, I'm going to take the defaults. In step 3, it's going to walk you through the settings that you'll need to enter on the Bitbucket side when you create the webhook. But in order to enable the payload URL first, we have to save the integration. So if you scroll down to the lower right-hand side, you can click Save. From here, I can click Copy, and that will copy the payload URL that I need to enter on the Bitbucket side after I create a new webhook. So let's go over to Bitbucket. So I'm going to take this window and resize it so that we can see what we've got going on Bitbucket. So here's my Bitbucket repository, and I'm going to come up here to my menu, and I'm going to select Settings. From here, I've got a bunch of options, but I can go to webhooks and I can choose add a webhook. So I need to give this a title. So I could call this Tracker and give it the name of my project if I wanted. And then for the URL field, I'm going to enter in the payload URL that I was given by the Tracker side. And then down here, Tracker is suggesting some of the triggers that I may want to select. So I can come in here, choose from the full list of triggers, and then I can make sure I've selected things like push, created, merge, declined. And I'm going to come back over here. And if there were additional ones that I wanted, I could choose those as well, but I'm going to go with what Tracker recommended. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save and save my new webhook. And now on the Tracker side, I'm going to go back to my project. So now I have my Bitbucket integration created. And if I go back to stories, I can see my list of stories. So perhaps this feature story here about filtering flights by dates is the story that this developer is about to work on. So I'm going to click on that and select my story ID so that I have that saved. And then let's come back to Bitbucket and look at our repository. I currently only have one file in this repository for demo purposes, but obviously you would typically have a lot more than that. So let's go ahead and edit our file. And we're going to make a bunch of changes. So we'll be adding our code, detailing our feature, and then I'm going to come down here and commit the changes. So it's going to give me a commit message automatically, but I want to add in the Tracker story ID that we had. And I'm going to go ahead and create a pull request as a part of that and give it a branch name. So let's go ahead and commit our changes. And it's going to go ahead and do that. And you'll see that over on the Tracker side, some changes happened. It actually automatically started our story for us. And let's open up that story and see what other changes happened. My pull request got created, my branch got created, so all of those are there. And down here in the activity feed, we would see some other information as well. So let's go ahead and do our merge. So I'm going to click on merge, merge our work, and you'll see that that got updated as well. And notice the color coding, now that it's merged, it's green. And that color coding was added to the pull request over here on the tracker side as well. And it got updated automatically so that I can come in and see the current status of that. I can see the commit. I can see that that was merged. So all of my updates that I made on the Bitbucket side were reflected over here on that story on Pivotal Tracker. So that's a quick run through of setting up the Bitbucket integration and what that might look like using it and updating the Pivotal Tracker story. I hope this was helpful, and please do watch our other videos to learn even more.